If you think online scams only steal your money, this one might shock you, because now, an entire bank linked to an alleged scam empire is being shut down. Cambodia's central bank has ordered the liquidation of Prince Bank plc, a financial institution linked to businessman Chen Zhi, who has been described as a key figure connected to an alleged transnational scam and money laundering network. The National Bank of Cambodia said Prince Bank is no longer allowed to carry out banking activities. That means no taking in deposits, no issuing loans, and no normal bank operations. A licensed liquidator has been appointed to take over the process. But here's the part many people will worry about: what happens to depositors? Cambodia's central bank said customers can still withdraw their funds, but they must submit the required documents, and withdrawals will be handled according to Cambodian banking laws. So on paper, depositors are not abandoned. But in reality, when a bank enters liquidation, the process often becomes slower, stricter, and more stressful, because every claim needs to be checked, verified, and processed. Now this major move comes right as Chen Zhi himself is facing serious enforcement actions internationally. According to reports, Chen was arrested in Cambodia earlier this month and deported to China at Beijing's request. 2 other Chinese nationals were also detained and transferred in the same operation. Cambodia's Ministry of Interior said these arrests followed months of joint investigations by Cambodian and Chinese law enforcement agencies. And this is not just a Cambodia story, it stretches across borders. In October 2025, United States prosecutors charged Chen with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and money laundering. American authorities also seized about $15 billion worth of Bitcoin allegedly linked to him. That number is not small. That's not just a scam case. That's the size of a financial empire. And then there's Singapore. The Must-Share News report says Singapore courts rejected attempts to release funds linked to alleged transnational money laundering. In other words, there were efforts to unfreeze or access seized funds, and the court said no. And when you zoom out, the picture gets even more intense. This case involves investigations and actions across multiple jurisdictions, meaning agencies in more than one country are circling the same network, following the same trail of money. And that trail doesn't just stop at bank accounts. It includes crypto. It includes cross-border financial transfers. And it includes the kind of corporate structure that looks clean on the outside, but may hide something darker behind it. Now here's what makes this case feel especially chilling for everyday people. Because scams today don't just target one person at a time. They operate like businesses. They build systems. They create money pipelines. And if the allegations are true, they don't just steal. They move the money through legitimate-looking channels, so it becomes harder to trace, harder to recover, and harder to stop. So let's talk about the big question. If a bank, a real bank, can be linked to alleged scam activity, then how many ordinary people might have unknowingly been exposed? How many businesses might have been processing payments without knowing the full story? And how many financial institutions across the region could be at risk if the money trail keeps expanding? Here's the open question for you today. Do you think governments and banks are doing enough to protect the public from modern scam networks, or are scammers always one step ahead? Because this is no longer just about being careful with strangers online. This is about massive, cross-border operations that can reach into real industries, even real financial institutions. If you found this report useful, give us a like. Share this video so more people stay alert. And subscribe to 2230, because we follow the stories that others miss, and we connect the dots that matter.